All right. Thank you again for coming back. So this is going to be short and quick. This is how to do a market research, but more specifically, how to pick a market. Because this is also one of the very, very common issues that I see, especially in the digital kind of products niche. I see people creating amazing products, all right? Amazing products. But it's just the market itself. It's not the like there is no money to be made, basically. There is no money to be made in that market. So what I'll be discussing right now is how to actually pick a niche or how to pick your market because it's very, very important. And people tend to, underestimate the importance of doing this because it could ruin the whole thing. You could have the most amazing product, but if no one is buying it, it's not worth having, simply. So what we will be discussing is how to pick your market. So make sure that you have your pen and paper aside to take some notes because it's going to be very simple, very quick, but also, again, as I mentioned, very important. So if you want to look at the definition of an ideal market, it needs to have four main things. It needs to have an ongoing pain. They need to have a buying power. They should be easy to target, and they're consistently growing. I'll say it again. So this is like the definition of the ideal market or the ideal niche or the ideal audience. This is the definition of it. They need to have a pain. They need to have the buying power. They need to be easy to target, and they should be growing because you want to scale up, you want to grow your business, you want to make more money or more revenue or reach more people. If the audience or the market that you are in is if it's not growing, then it's not worth it. So whatever niche or whatever market that you are considering to sell to or to be part of, just look at it in that way. If you are going to be analyzing it or doing some research, research it from that perspective. Keep all of those details in mind, these four main things, whatever it is. So let me give you an example. So you could be selling a product which is something like being a personal trainer, but the difference is you're doing this online. You're giving like some nutrition guide, and you're doing one-on-one kind of conversation with your trainees, and you're giving them guidance and you're giving them coaching into becoming better at the gym or in better health or whatever. Okay, so if you are going to be analyzing such things with that product in mind, the way that you look at it is throughout those four criteria. Okay, so what's the pain? So you need people that have an ongoing pain. In my experience, because I worked with personal coaches who give like their coaching online, in my experience, the pain that their audience is facing is that they want to better themselves physically, but they don't want to go to the gym. Maybe they are shy, they have social anxiety or whatever it is, but they don't want to do it in the gym. They want to do it inside, or they want to do it in the gym, but the personal trainer that is in the gym is way, 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 way expensive. Okay, so they do an in-body analysis, and they give that to their virtual personal trainer, and based on that, he gives them a nutrition plan and a workout plan or whatever. So that's the pain that they're having. It could be that they don't want to go to the gym; they want to practice indoors. That could be one of the pains. And from that perspective, they see that the personal trainer in the gym is very expensive and the virtual one is cheaper, comparing between that. So you need to also understand, okay, do those people have the purchasing power? Are they able to afford my services? This is a very, very important question, because from that question, you will be able to determine whether or not your product is expensive or not expensive, and are they easy to target. So, okay, how would I be able to target people who go to the gym? Maybe if I join some communities online, maybe Facebook group of a specific gym, or people who are, want to better themselves and be in a good physique, some kind of communities like that. Is that available too much? Like, is there is like a plenty of communities when it comes to that theme? Yes or no? If there is, okay, then they are most likely easy to target. Okay, and are they growing, or are they declining? Maybe you could be in a market that is declining. You could be in a market that is growing. And an example for that is real estate agents. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, I see becoming a real estate agent as a declining market. This is just my opinion out of the way that I see it. I see it, it's a declining market. I see many homeowners and home buyers are doing it themselves. They don't really need the real estate agents. Some of them see it that way, others don't see it that way. So, in my opinion, I see it as a declining market. Is this a sufficient data? Is this enough to prove it? No. So I did some research actually, because that was a huge debate between me and one of my friends, and we noticed that year over year, the amount of people who get the real estate agent kind of licensing is in decline. So that makes sense. So that's a market that you don't want to go in, unless if you have something extremely unique that is going to be flipping the market upside down to your own good. So if that's the case, then go for it. So that's basically it. This is how to do proper market research. This is exactly how to pick a successful niche, or how to pick an ideal audience or an ideal niche, basically. If you follow that process, you'll be able to determine, you know, better clients. You'll be able to determine better businesses to be in. You'll be able to determine actually very, very amazing things, and you're most likely going to be saving lots of money making wrong decisions. So try it
Very good.
and let me know. I'm going to be ending the recording for that. But before I do you have any questions?
Yes, yes, I do. I do actually. You
Okay.
said this is the ideal market: pain, buying, easy, and growth potential. So, if it's not ideal, can you eliminate any one of those? So, let's say percentage-wise, it's a pain. They definitely have a pain more than 50%. Buying power, they have something which is, let's say, 25%. Easy to target might be, I don't know, 50% again. Growth, zero potential for growth. Would that stop you going forward on that market? If something was zero, if it was 1% growth, then that's definitely a potential. But if it's zero up to buy power or zero to easy to target, would they be restrictions or would they be complete dead stops?
Okay, that's perfect question. This is amazing. I'll actually answer it in different ways. So let's go with the basic thing that must not be removed, in my opinion, is the pain. So that shouldn't be removed. But go forward, go further. If we take the buying power specifically, from the buying power, let's say in that specific group of people or in that specific market, the buying power is not the best, meaning people don't tend to have much money. The people that I'm targeting, let's say, for example, um, um, lawn mowers, for example, lawn mowers. They don't have much of a buying power. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But let's move on. Okay, are they easy to target? Let's say yes. Are they growing? Let's say also yes. But they don't have a big buying power. What that would mean to me is one of two things. If my cost to make the product is expensive, then this means that there will be very little profit margins. Then I personally, I would prefer to stay away. But if my cost to create the product, especially if it's a digital product, usually the cost is almost zero. If you're like selling something like a digital PDF or something like that, or an ebook, the cost to it is almost zero in many cases, right? So that means is that you are flexible when it comes to the pricing. You're aware that your ideal market or your target audience do not have much of a buying power, and it's fine with you because you can manage it. You can you have other things to subsidize with it. Maybe that would be an entry product for something a little bit more that they will be buying in the future, right? So it has both short-term goals and long-term goals. It's mainly dependent on the product. So that when it comes to the buying power. When it comes to easy to target is relevant to the KPI that we mentioned, which is the CAC, which is the customer acquisition cost. If they are easy to target, then most likely my cost to acquire a customer is going to be low if they are easy to target. So that means to me more profit because I'm spending less on getting more, right? So that means to me that's a good thing. But if they are not easy to target, this most likely is going to mean that the cost to acquire a new customer is going to be expensive. So it's also now in that case, I'll need to think, okay, is the profit margin here is going to be sufficient for me enough to continue on with this or not? Okay, so it's all dependent, right? But all of the variables, all of them change. But again, as I mentioned, whatever is measurable is scalable. If you can measure all of this, it will impact your decisions, right? So that's why it's important to be able to understand this from different perspectives, but again, get down to like the main decisions, right? So that's what I would do if they are not easy to target. I'll most likely pivot. I'll find another market or another niche.
Sure.
And
I'm just going to read this left to right, basically.
okay.
This is a funnel,
Mm,
right? They need to go to the first gate. They need to have pain, so they need to buy something.
mm,
The buying power is how big their pocket is. You can have small pockets, you can have large pockets, and you can have zero pockets. If they don't have money to spend, then you don't go any further,
mm,
right? But if they have some money to spend, small or large, you go to the next level, which is, are they easy to target? And they'll be easy to target and hard to target. Each has a cost, and then that creates a potential profit, and that's for now. That's for delivery now. And then if you're talking about delivery tomorrow, which is growth, then you can ask yourself, can I stop at easy to target and that's it? Just keep milking the machine every day and for until end of process.
yes.
But if you want to then scale the business for tomorrow, then you say, well, I'll entertain growing. So it's a funnel, left to right. You
Yes.
can exit at any level basically because it's a decision. How much are
Yeah.
you prepared to invest? Because
Yes.
the input output ratio, as I would call it, is acceptable to you. If you
Yes.
have a
Exactly.
low
Yeah.
input cost, then the output goes up automatically.
Yes. Thank you. So again, I'm glad that you are engraving the kind of the thought process into your head because again, as I mentioned early on in the beginning, it's extremely important for you to be in the proper mindset because it makes everything different because it makes the way that you look at things is very different. And over time, when you have all of this thought process engraved in your head, it's second nature to you. Like you're doing it
Mm,
unconsciously, right? So again, this is why it's very, very important, in my opinion, to have the right mindset or like the right methodologies in your head first, because this is what you personally can control in the beginning. You can control your own self. You can control your head. You can control the way that you think. This is the first thing that you would do. right? And then over time, you would learn the language, you would learn the tools and all of that. But it all comes down again to the core, which is the mindset. Again, you clearly illustrated this amazingly. Thank you so much, actually. It makes my life easier, and it proves the point that I'm mentioning right now, is that yes, guys, please. This is also one of the mistakes that I've seen lots of people do, is that they look at it without understanding it, or they're doing something without understanding the why behind it, the what behind it. They're not understanding the details. That's why they're missing the point. They're not able to see like the full picture, or like the eagle eye view of the entire project, or the entire marketing plan that you're doing, right? So it's very, very important again to tap into the proper mindset. I highly, highly, highly recommend you guys to do so. And the homework is going to be this. I want you to pick any product, whether it's yours or it's someone's else, any product, and try to create your ideal audience. In the next class, we will specifically discuss a little bit more details when it comes to the ideal audience and all of that. We'll also discuss customer personas, customer journey. We'll discuss a little bit more advanced things, because again, we're in the phase two, which is the language. We're understanding key concepts here. But it will add up, and like you will feel like you're connecting the dots when we're explaining it next time. So that's going to be the homework for today. Pick a product and pick a market, and tell me the market that you picked based on the four factors. Actually, let me do this. So this, again, as I mentioned previously, this was part of presentation that I did for a business that I was auditing their marketing efforts. And what they were doing is that they were offering courses for the employees of the businesses. So if you have a business, they offer to your employees courses to make like a little bit more inclusive culture and a little bit more things, but I'm not quite sure. But the main purpose of them doing so was to try to create a culture in those businesses that the employees are taking the courses. They wanted to create a culture in those businesses where it's like a comfort. They wanted to make the business a comfort zone for the employees. So when picking a market to offer such product for, you need to do your research. So I did my research based on those four factors, and the foundings were the following. I noticed that the two best markets that they should be focusing on working with is either healthcare or financial activities. Because I noticed that in these two markets, the turnover is 40% annually, meaning out of every 100 employees, after 1 year, 40 of them quit, right? So based on that, and with relevance to the product that they offer, this is the perfect market to target in their marketing efforts, because this is obviously the one that had the most pain, and they obviously have the buying power. They're extremely easy to target, especially on LinkedIn, and they are exponentially growing. Same thing with the financial activities. It was the same, but the healthcare market was a little bit more than that. So that was my solution, or like my recommendation for them based on that. And I'm hoping that illustrating this answer adds to what we've been discussing. Does that make any
I
sense?
don't understand. I don't understand this example. You said it's in a closed system inside a company. So you're selling products to the employees, and
Oh,
then
yeah, yeah,
your
yeah.
measurement is
Let me illustrate this again. So I have a business. As Mo, I have a business. My business does this. Yeah, Guy, for example, you do have a business and you have 100 employees, okay? But the thing
okay.
is, you have a very high turnover, meaning that a huge percentage of the employees that come in leave after 1 year. All right. So you need
Okay.
to solve that problem. And I have the solution. My solution is that I will educate your employees. I'll give them a set of courses, and
Mm.
also we would do some in-house activities together and team building stuff like that. And in exchange of that, the results that you'll be getting is that your employees will like the place, and then the turnover ratio or the percentage of the people leaving is going to decrease because this costs you money. Attrition
I
costs
thought
money to acquire new people.
you're talking about education, but here it's healthcare, which I assume is health benefits, and financial activities as financial benefits to the employee. Those are the
Oh,
two
no, 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 no.
things
I'm
that
talking about the
convince them
market.
not
This is
to
the
leave.
market. Yeah, 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 yeah. This is not like healthcare itself. This is the industry of healthcare, the employees that are working in healthcare.
Yeah,
40% of them
right.
quit
Okay.
their
All right.
job
All right.
after 1 year.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll call it sector,
Yes,
healthcare
sector.
sector,
Yes, yes, yes,
financial
sector.
sector,
Yeah.
right? So your market is in the healthcare sector. Those companies lose people 40% annually. How do we improve it? Well, we educate them, and we obviously have course specifics that make encourage them to feel good about the company they work for, and then
Mm,
they won't leave. So now I get it. Yeah, I get it.
mm.
Yeah. Sorry. This diagram, health and financial activity should be above the word market, because your market is sectorized. Yeah, if that makes sense, if there's such a
Yes,
word. So you've got. I'm not saying you've got it wrong, but I would flip them. Row one to row two instead. No, 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 no. Healthcare is a sector. Financial is a sector. Market is the subsection of sectors.
ah, okay, yeah, 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 I get it now. Okay. Yeah, yes, exactly, yes.
It's just how it appears from a user's perspective.
Yes.
You're using words which you're familiar with, but I'm trying to map it to the real world.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
You can have markets at different levels. You can have markets that is holistic right across all sectors. You can have a market which is just within one sector, and then inside that one company. Yeah,
yes. Again, thank you so much for illustrating
no
this
problem.
point. And I hope that again with this example, it still illustrates the core essence that we're talking about. And by the way, the people that they were targeting were not in any of the two markets or subsectors. They were not targeting these guys at all. They were focusing on small businesses and businesses that are in I think it was more of brick and mortar type of businesses, like car washes, automobiles, dealerships,
Mm, mm.
stuff like that. So it was completely away from their ideal audience. So when I was mentioning this to them and illustrated this to them, it was like a light bulb moment to them, that they realized that, and they've been doing this for like 10 years or something like that, and they just realized that, oh, I do have, because they were questioning their product, they were questioning how effective their product is, right? And when we mentioned this and we tackled this point, they reached a realization where we do have a good product, but we are in the wrong market, right? And after they shifted, they did amazingly when it comes to sales. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose this, but they
Mm.
kind of like 10x their business after doing so. So
Oh,
that,
lovely. So it does work really well,
yeah,
fantastically well. Okay.
yeah. So again, it's very very important also, because again, just like we mentioned, you could be having like the most amazing product, but if you're marketing it to the wrong people, they will never see the value of it, and you will end up being burned out. So that sums up our class for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, the homework
I
is
did.
picking a product and
Yeah.
doing the market research based on the four criteria. Could be any product, in anything, a physical product, a digital product. I don't really care. I just want you
Yeah.
to pick a product and pick a market for that product. And that
I have
product
an idea of something.
could be something
Oh, I have
digital.
an idea of something.
Okay.
Um, I want to create an educational business, right?
Okay.
even though I come from an IT background,
Hmm.
for the last 10 years, I've been a financial trader from home,
Hmm.
right? Trading my own money. Um, After a period of non-profit, I've become profitable. Yeah. Let's say last 3 years, after 10 years.
Hmm.
This last 6 months, I always help people anyway, but I had a student, mentored a student to trade, right? Very good process. We've created a trader manual, 300 pages, 350 pages. It's knowledge that's we've accrued organically with conversations, yeah?
Hmm.
And I've got a good process, right? I can trade, but I've got to teach him to trade. And so I've created effectively an idea of a course,
Hmm.
right? And my friend, he says, "Oh, I'll go in. We'll start an education business. You let me create the business, manage the business, expectation, all the rest of it, all the way through to profit. But you create the product, the content, the videos." And then he gave me 3 levels of packages that he wanted me to create. So I'm in the active space of trying to turn what I already know and what I've already done with one student
Okay.
into an actual product of course which satisfies 1, 2, 3 levels of monetization. And
Nice.
so he tasked me with it, and I said, "But you haven't set me any specification, right?" So now that I've got your approach, I can actually go to him and say, "You tell me what the pain point is." Well, there are people out there, 100,000 people, who want to make money
Yes.
and they can't guarantee their work will be there in a year's time. Yeah. So they need an alternative income stream. So markets is all about turning money into more money, which is a lot easier, I say, than working for a living, turning
Yes.
your time into money. Right. So that's the pain point. Buying power. Well, people are as
They're
cheap
most
as
likely employed or
50
have already
rupees.
money. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, my friend, he's Indian, so he's in India at the moment,
Nice.
and
Okay.
basically, he says basically there are 1 billion people, and we're very poor, right? So the average take home pay might be $100 a month, right? So we need to target them because their first aspiration is to make money, to feed themselves, to and then more for the future, saving and buying things, yeah.
Hmm.
But you know, how easy to target? Well, he's got ideas and growing options. Well, the option to grow is 1 billion people, basically. So even if we pick 1% of 1%, and let's say we took, argument's sake, 1,000 customers, yeah, every month. If we onboarded 1,000 customers, and we gave them a proposition, first we'll teach you, and then we'll provide you with money to trade,
Hmm.
right? Funded account, they call it. A small funded account, and then you prove to us that you've learned to trade properly, manage risk, and you're profitable. Then why not put more money in front of you? £1 million, £5 million, yeah.
Hmm.
So then they can make money, and we can be happier that they will manage our money properly.
Hmm.
At the moment, there's a lot of companies out there who provide funded accounts but no education,
Hmm.
right? I've literally got a good process of educating persons one to one, right? And while uh, uh, his aspiration is sell the product cheap but sell it many times, right? So $100,000 is the profit target. That can be either monetized by a hundred people who pay 1,000, or we can go the other end and say 5 people who pay £20,000 for a course. If you have the right ability to make money, you can literally say you can turn 20 grand into 20 grand very quickly.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that is worth something. And while he was talking about he's got marketing contacts, and he was saying, I'm going to go to my marketing contacts, but they're at that end of the market, the small end, cheap and many.
Hmm.
And I said, you need to find other target customers who are high net worth individuals because they have the money, they have the need, but they just don't have a provider of a service which gives them one-to-one.
Mm.
Right, and between us, we sort of agreed that we'll work on his approach, which is sell to many people, right? But the option to grow into the high net worth individual area is still on the table. So yeah, this marketing thing, it's not just me having interest. I have an actual need to fulfill.
Mhm.
And while he's very much the expert in marketing, I'm not going to let him get away with it now. He tells me lots of things. Oh, this is right. This is what you're going to do. No, 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 no. Let's go back to first principles. What's your funnel?
Exactly.
Anyway, I'll come
Good.
back
It's
to
good.
you.
You're actually thinking of it because what you mentioned right now is that you mentioned the goal in mind. You mentioned the end goal. You started with the end in mind. You started with the end
Yeah,
in mind.
yeah, yeah. Well, what
It's
you
a process in
described.
your head. It's a thought process. So that what makes a difference, and it makes it easier even for you. It makes it very, very easy for you to be able to reverse engineer it from the end
Mustafa, the
to
reason
now.
why it's easy for me, is I'm a fully trained project manager, right, with a credentials, yeah.
Yes.
And while I've not managed projects wholesale, I've been trained to, and I've worked in hundreds of projects anyway, as a resource. So when you look at a project, you're a project manager. When you look at a requirement given to you by a business, they give you the bare basics. I just want you to raise my profit line or something, yeah, my revenue. And then it's up to you to turn that into requirements. And the way you do it is exactly as you've said, which is reverse goal setting. It's a process.
Yes.
Goal setting is forward, reverse goal setting is backwards. You set
Yes.
you say, what is the end target, what are the main steps to go up to that, to get to there, and then you obviously put a plan around each milestone to get to that end point. So
Yes.
that's what a project manager does. That's the first thing. The other observation I have is you've got your funnel, you've got your conversion from one to the other, and you've got metrics between each, right?
Mhm.
If you think about that as a process, then you can apply something called Lean Sigma 6. It's a process improvement thing, yeah? And
Yes.
you define your processes, you define your metrics between the processes, and those metrics help you either improve the individual process step or the overall process chain. And then it's very easy. You know, you can easily say, you walk into a company as the auditor, and you literally say, all right, you're performing badly. Tell me what you do to begin with. And they say, right, we do this step, A, B, and C, right? And then you can literally turn around and say, you don't need B. It adds no value. If you knock that out, you can go
Exactly.
straight from A to C, and there's a saving because it's one less overhead, right?
Yes.
And in time, in quality, in anything else, right? So
Yes.
that's process improvement 101, Lean Sigma 6. And that's what you're describing. You're not
Yeah.
describing anything brand new. You're
Yeah.
literally
Exactly.
saying, in the area of marketing, we apply process improvement this way.
Yes. I'm actually a
Anyway,
green belt. Oh yeah.
that's useful, I hope.
I'm a green belt, by the way.
Ah! This is how you suck eggs, Grandma. This is how you do it, he says. No,
Yeah.
no, but at the end of the day, now you can understand. Now you can literally use that word. You know, you can, if you're going to market this video, um, introduce it. You know, the Simon Sinek stuff, right? Introduce that because that's your starting point, and then you can say what's your vision, what's your process, and how do you get there, and that's your why, what, and how, or whatever. And
Yes.
then process improvement is what we're going to do in the field of marketing, which fits inside of a bigger business of marketing, sales, and fulfillment, and what I forget the last step, right? Marketing is this pain, but you know you're going to have a process anyway. But this can be broken down again. So everything's a process.
Yes,
Just
you I
deal
can
with it.
expand from it. Yes, exactly. And this
Yeah,
is
you can
what I'm trying
expand
to
for it,
say.
but the
Yeah.
context is the important thing.
Yes.
If you want me and other people to learn this thing well, rather than just going straight in at the level of mindset, language, and I can't remember what the fourth one was, tools,
Tools.
right? Yeah. Say it in terms of your vision, your process, and your how to do it. And that sets the scene. That's the framework. That's, you know, that's the education that will hit the mark. as far as the user of your service is concerned. But anyway, I'm not going to take any more of your time up. Thank you very much. Um, as
Okay,
always,
wrap everything
my
up.
feedback on you is better drawings, better drawings.
That's never going to happen. I like it that way.
Turnover is going to be high then, man. They're going to walk away. What's he drawing now? Is that a UFO?
But it
Oh,
proves that
lovely.
if it works, leave it alone, right?
But it doesn't work. It doesn't work. How many questions did I have to ask you? No, it
Okay,
does work.
thank you
It's just,
again for
just
attending.
lovely.
I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope everyone who watched this enjoyed it. Once again, this was our class for today. Next week we are
Good.
going to be discussing a little bit more things when it comes to again more key concepts. We'll be diving into a little bit more specifics, as I mentioned, the customer persona, customer journey, and a little bit of more things more than that. I'm hoping that everyone is going to be, having a good time and also make good use of this. Once again, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you.
You too. Thank you very much.
No, wait, don't go. I just stopped the recording.
Oh, sorry. Go
uh,
on.
Unfortunately, we have 1 minute. Okay, it's 12 a.m. right
Well,
now.
we
My
can catch
time.
up on Discord or whatever, the Slack or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. What time is it at your place?
Uh, 10 o'clock,
Oh,
10 p.m.
okay, nice. All right. Cool.